Oh, Veep, you salacious Veep. Oh, hey, I didn't know you were here. Listen, I don't want you to tell anybody, but I'm hiding out from work today so I can watch all of this new stuff on HBO Max. It's got Friends, stuff on TBS, stuff on TNT, Cartoon Network. It's got everything. Oh my gosh, but I'm not supposed to be out here. I just want to catch up on Veep for the 18th time. Okay, well, maybe I can go back to work and... Oh, my boss! You think he saw me? I don't know what I was going to do. I think that's fine. I don't care.
It's news time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Welcome back to News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the HBO Max news you didn't know about. We're back in the car for reasons. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, CBS All Access, Apple TV Plus, Showtime Anytime, ESPN Plus, Stars, DC Universe, Crackle. These are the major streaming services that you can pay for and or feature big-name shows or movies. There's more, which, if you consider Shudder and Sundance Now to even carry the same weight as many of these, even Crackle, then you're wrong. HBO Max is Warner Media's... Well, no. Actually, it's AT&T's bet to enter the streaming space. Those paying way too much attention might know that the cellular provider also has a couple of other streaming offerings alongside HBO Now. Then there's DirecTV and HBO Go, and I'm sure there's more, but come on, I'm tired. When it was introduced in 2014, HBO Now was the network's first foray into paid streaming. HBO Go, the cable-powered streaming arm of the network, had already been around for 4 years. They didn't see Netflix or other streamers as competitors. They didn't even see themselves as TV, just HBO, tagline. So if HBO Go was for those who have cable subscriptions, then what was HBO Now to be? The exact same thing, except you pay HBO directly and use a completely different app. Since the introduction of HBO Max in late 2019, HBO Now's place was being questioned. At the time, conventional thinking was that Now was going to remain separate, with Max being introduced as a 3-tiered service. Much like what NBC's Peacock is opting to do, AT&T scrapped the 3 levels, deciding to launch at a higher price and include Now within the price. Disney used sheer brand recognition to earn its millions of subscribers in just days. Why can't AT&T bolster its Max subscriber count by including all of the HBO subscribers too? Well, most of them anyway. At least more than half. For now. Maybe. Max is a confusing offering. Investors are having trouble pegging the service down. After executive shufflings and AT&T being a baffling, disappointing network owner in general, their concerns are justifiable. AT&T, I'm ready to sell News Time if you need it. It carries the HBO moniker while also including sister networks TBS, Cartoon Network, TNT, and others. Looking for more adventure time? Head to HBO Max. Spent 2 years waiting for the new season of Search Party to air on TBS? It became a streaming show on Max. Missing Friends on Netflix? The show's a Max exclusive now. No, not now. It's on Max now. Not HBO Now. HBO Max. The show airs on that. You've got to be just as confused as I am. Why don't we check out the explainer video from HBO?
This is HBO, home of the greatest shows of all time and the latest hit films. You can stream HBO Go if you get HBO through your TV or cable provider. Or you can use HBO Now to stream HBO if you don't have one. Now say hello to HBO Max. A new way to stream everything on HBO together with even more amazing shows and movies. So if you want HBO, you can stream HBO Go with your TV or cable provider. Or HBO Now if you don't have one. And if you want all of HBO together with a collection of even more of the best TV and movies for just $14.99 a month, then HBO Max is for you. And now you know the difference.
Right, so if you want to watch HBO, subscribe to cable or go to HBO Now. But if you want to watch HBO stuff plus other stuff that's not on HBO, head to HBO Max. But if you have HBO Now, you already have an HBO Max account. But if you don't want to watch HBO Max shows, you're better off ignoring the app and starting up on HBO Now. Unless you have cable, then you can only watch HBO Go, I think. Right? That is unless you have HBO through certain cable providers, along with streamers, Hulu, and YouTube TV. Then you get access to HBO Max. Why did I start down this path? Max is going to offer tons of shows and movies from day one. It won't be bulbous, though. Just as Disney Plus launched with a curated, albeit large list of shows and movies, so too will Max. We won't know until it launches. Well, at the press time of the script, it launches today. For now, I'll throw first impressions over to future News Time correspondent, Future Chad. FC, how is HBO Max?
Thanks, Chad. Welcome to the HBO Primer, brought to you by News Time. News Time. Why?
Okay, so if you see here, this, a day ago, used to be, this right here used to be HBO Now, but now it's currently HBO Max. So if I tap on it, it should bring me up to my HBO Now page or my HBO Max page. It didn't bring. I saved some stuff on HBO Now. It didn't bring it over. Whatever, doesn't matter. Okay, so as you can see, I did have to re-put everything in my watch list. So it's got the HBO stuff that I had on HBO Go, because again, I did not have HBO Now until yesterday. And then you still get your HBO stuff. There's your Friends right there. It's got your new HBO Max show, something about Elmo. There's something wrong with Elmo. and of course, apparently all the Harry Potter stuff's on here. And then you have your HBO series. And the app is pretty much set up in the same exact way as HBO Go and HBO Now were. So what you're gonna come over here. There's already a last chance section where where stuff on HBO disappears at the end of the month. But then everything's put up in the genres. You got your series, your movies, your ongoing, your originals, your just added, your last chance, your coming soon. Everything's going to come soon. We'll get to those in a second, but you see here, I have my list, and it's full of stuff, again, from HBO. That's all the stuff from HBO that I had put on the list today. You can download from the get-go, so that's nice. And then you also have your continue watching. I did test out to see if it would play what it was going to play like, and it plays just like HBO. So if you tap on that, and then it'll tell you, I'm not on Wi-Fi right now, but it'll tell you that it's going to start playing, and it plays just like if you have HBO Go, HBO Now, it'll play just like that. You can search, of course. You got your superhero stuff. You got all the stuff that I wasn't streaming before, your Fresh Prince, and you can just hit search up here and just say, hey, I'm looking for Adventure Time. So I hope I typed in AD. I did. Adventure Time. You tap on Adventure Time, and all of Adventure Time is here. I believe Distant Lands might be its own thing, but you can get all 10 seasons of Adventure Time here. You can also get it on Hulu, so we don't know what's going to happen with that. Do note that, so everything We Bear Bears is on here. So you can go to We Bear Bears. So let me just type that in. We Bear Bears. And then you tap on We Bear Bears right here, and you've got all 4 seasons ready to go. Now, note that the first 2 seasons are on Hulu right now, and the last 2 seasons, 3 and 4, are on, the show's not over yet, but the next 2 seasons, 3 and 4, are on Netflix. So that's very interesting. Even then, HBO Max has everything. There's also note that not every Cartoon Network show is on here. Not every TBS show is on here. Not every Adult Swim is also on here. Not every Adult Swim show is on here. So if you scroll down to the bottom here, all the way to the bottom, all the way, you get, oh, hold on. That's embarrassing. It was here today, I swear. It showed you what stuff was on here. And what was okay? So if you scroll all the way to the bottom of this, you can see what HBO Max offers. It's got HBO, DC stuff, TNT, Cartoon Network, all that stuff. But they call them collections. They call it the Cartoon Network collections, the Adult Swim collections, and you can see it's got all of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, all of Rick and Morty, the home movies, Space Ghost Coast to Coast, Samurai Jack, Robot Chicken, The Boondocks, but it's still missing a lot of other shows. It's missing things that were on Hulu. They were streaming on Hulu. They were streaming on, other things. And you can't get, for instance, Dragon Ball Super. You have to go to the Adult Swim app for that. You have to have a cable login to be able, in order to watch that. You don't get shows like Assy McGee or American Dad, things that air on Adult Swim. You just don't get those shows. You don't even get American Dad on here. American Dad's on Hulu. So it's a little bit befuddling. It kind of reminds me of what what Viacom CBS is doing with CBS All Access and the shows that air on Viacom networks. There's a bunch of Nickelodeon shows are spread out between CBS All Access and Netflix and Amazon and some on Hulu. So it's a strange thing. And I woke up this morning to download it, and it was on, and I thought I had to subscribe via HBO Now because my cable provider was not listed as a company that supported it. And I woke up this morning and it was. So I wasted $12. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's cool to have this stuff. Again, I wonder if they're going to do like Viacom CBS and just allow other streaming platforms to buy up the properties. Viacom CBS has, some Comedy Central stuff on Hulu and other Comedy Central stuff on Comedy Central proper. So on Comedy Central streaming app proper. We'll see where that takes us. But for now, HBO Max just seems like a sidestep, and nothing moving forward. Just like a nice little sidestep. But there we go. Back to you, Chad, in the past from a few minutes ago. Thanks, me. Shows are up, movies are raring to go, deals have been set, and the app is working across all platforms. Most platforms. It's working across most platforms. That's because holdouts Roku and Amazon aren't playing ball. This is the closest we'll get to baseball during the pandemic, so I'll take whatever analogy I can get. Talks are still ongoing as late as last week with the largest streaming service digital media player in the world. Why the wait? Roku is trying to get the best cut it can. When an app provider wants to put its service into someone else's app store, said app store gets a slice of the revenue pie from every subscription, known as a tax. We've seen this pose problems with Apple and Google before, so this isn't new. Amazon is teetering more towards no. HBO Max is entering into a world dominated by streamers, although it does carry some name recognition it's been building on for decades. While it's been locked behind cable and is still considered a premium service, HBO is ready to explode upwards thanks to name recognition and acquisitions alone. Can it survive purely on clout, or will it skip along the pack? Is AT&T in over its head as a production company runner? Find out when you download the app and try for yourself today. Speaking of things you should try for yourself, why don't you try subscribing and checking out one of our other videos? Of course, you can head to the website cpluscomedy.com, where there are so many great interviews with your favorite comedians. You'll go, ooh, that comedian sounds good. Ooh, the interviewer sounds so sexy. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Listen to the Constitutionals podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And it's time for me to get back to watching The Wire. That's what I was doing over here. Definitely nothing sinister.